What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course, and shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def to Radio, which is our Instagram, DEAF2 Radio. Also, make sure you guys follow us on our website, deftoradio.com. The information, of course, for that will be in the description. It's free for everybody. It's a membership site that we've been building and working on. And we want everybody that's in the comments underneath this video that rocks with the channel consistently, you know, definitely join and become a member of the site, man, because a lot of these requests that you guys are sending us, man, we're gonna be prioritizing where we go to look at our requests on our site. You know what I mean? We're going to be way more active. I have my personal account on the site. Ryan has his personal account on the site. So we definitely want y'all to join, become a member. It's a great way to support the channel. Again, information for that will be in the description.
And make sure you check out the Common Ground reaction, man. We're going to put that on our Def to Radio site in the hip hop group. And we just did They Don't Love Me. You know, it seemed like y'all like that reaction, man. So we're like, man, you know what? Let's hit another song. Blame It On Me from the album.
Yeah, man. Y'all hit us up on Instagram for this one, man. So this one and a few others, but this one seemed to get consistently the most requests. So again, if you guys want to see that Common Ground one, that's going to be on our website for a while. You know what I'm saying? They may not make it to YouTube for a while. So, you know, that's more of an exclusive joint, but we gonna it's free for the free members, but we're going to feed the streets on our site with that one. So make sure you guys go to the site to check Common Ground out. Let's get into it. Blame On Me from the new Jackman album. Let's get into it.
Blame on me. Can't hold back. Holding on for a minute. Oh, running in, blame on me. Put the blame on me. Oh, put the blame on me. Put the blame on me. Oh.
We grew up in the same household. For years we were close, throwing football in the yard till the lights turned on inside the lamppost. Years go by, something changed when you got to junior high and started hanging with them guys. Suddenly I meant nothing to you. You wanted nothing to do with me. You run with a crew that doesn't include any room for your little brother. I was destroyed, but I still loved you. I still wanted your approval. If I could get it, I'd cherish it. Embarrassing me any chance you got, but I didn't care, because maybe if I was tough enough to take it, you would love me. Instead of looking at me like I'm disgusting, like I'm nothing, like I'm not the person that you grew up with. I wanna reminisce and ask you if you miss those days, but I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to hear your answer, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
Right in places, different faces. Oh, no, put the blame on me. Put the blame on me. Oh, put the blame on me. Put the blame on me. Oh.
We grew up in the same household. For years we were close. One-on-one, I would dominate you in the post. Years passed, but the bond didn't last. And now I hate the man above the sink looking at me in the glass. Treated you like I hated you, never needed you. Even if I had the same opinion, disagreed with you. Insult after insult, hoping they'd eat at you, poking at your deepest wounds. My baby brother, I don't have an excuse, but I know you remember the way that dad would let loose on me more often and way less you. He criticized and tested me, so I test you. I got so much wrongdoing to confess to, and you act like it never happened. God bless you. I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to even ask, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
That's okay, man.
See where we going here now. Yeah. Shout out to Jack, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I always love that, man. When you think about songs where, especially during hip hop, man, you know, when you look at songs that tell a story that's kind of real to the artist and that other people can kind of relate to as well. I always appreciated that. The song that comes to mind is like Dear Mama by Tupac. Yeah. That was one of his biggest songs. And I just really loved how he kind of told the story of, you know, how all the struggles and stuff that his mom went through. But correlating it back to this song, man, I think Jack Harlow is the younger brother, but I guess we don't really know. I guess he could be the older brother. But I love the way he kind of painted the picture of the blame. You know, the blame game, blame on me. And in the first verse, he was like, you know, dude, I wanted your approval, man. And we were close. We were throwing the football in the yard and shit, and we were cool. And then as you grew older, you know what I mean? You just saw less and less of me, and we just kind of you know, lost touch. And then vice versa from the older brother's perspective, like, dude, you saw how dad used to get down on me, man. You know, he don't get no soft whoopings in this house. Instead of, being able to address that, what do you do? You kind of shit rolls downhill, so to speak, and I put the blame on you. I always appreciate that.
I don't know if this is Jack Harlow or if Jack Harlow is just writing from just in general, like he just thought of this or whatever the case may be. So I don't know if this is a personal story of his, but I do like that, and I'm taking it. I could be wrong, but I'm taking this as Jack's personal experience. What comes to mind is Logic's Under Pressure, where he rapped from the perspective of his siblings, and you kind of at least got to see where his siblings were coming from, during a certain situation, right? They lost communication, and everyone's going through something. And that's what this makes me think of, man. It's like, from the little brother's perspective, you just you saw your brother just creating a bit more distance, and he's just kind of taking things out on you. And I think that once you get to understand a brother's perspective, not to say that he's right, but you at least understand why. And it just makes me feel that, man, if you only had communicated with that person, obviously it's his little brother, but still just communicated even with the therapist, communicated with the parents, anybody, right?
Outlet.
Any type of outlet that you can communicate with could have changed maybe the trajectory of that relationship, because maybe him and his brother were at odds for years. That could have changed had he just been able to have an outlet to talk about it. But at least we're getting that in this in this story from Jack. So I think this is really, really dope. I've always liked these perspective songs and appreciated them. But this sounds good though.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that I ain't gonna name names. There's a lot of people that make songs like this, and I always appreciate them because it's an art and it's storytelling. So you don't have to, but I personally always appreciate it. But when I hear the "we can blame on me," it just sounds good. You know what I mean? It's got a cool sample, the way the sample's coming in and out, and whatever they're using to do that, I think it's cool. So it's a good smooth bop to it as well. Shout out to the producers on this. Who is it? Boy Wonder?
Yep.
Hollywood Cole. Azul. I like that. And whoever else was associated, Angel Lopez. Shout out to them, man. Yep. Let's keep it going though. I'm digging it.
Saw me more often and way less you. He criticized and tested me, so I test you. I got so much wrongdoing to confess to, and you act like it never happened. God bless you. I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to even ask, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
Yeah. I like the accountability there, too, from the older brother's perspective, right? He said, I got so much wrongdoing to confess to, and you act like it never happened. God bless you. I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to even ask, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing. So, I mean, hey, there's a couple things going on there, man. I mean, he's admitting that, he's taking accountability for it. Like, he knew he treated his little brother bad. Yep. And I think that would have done so much for Jack, or whoever, or a said character, at that time, had his older brother, expressed that to him, or expressed that to someone, and then treated his brother differently, right? And got that off his chest. And then also, he's saying he's terrified of broaching the subject because, when you bring things up, man, it could be testy, right? Yes, you don't know where that conversation is going to go and how they're going to take it, and will it cause more of a separation in a relationship depending on the place you're in. So I just think that I think everyone on some level can relate to the foundation of this, right? There's a sort of a breakdown in communication. Things go on, you take things out on people. Everybody's going through something at some point. So you're going through something, you take it out on somebody, things are left unsaid, and then there's this divide, right? There's this tension that doesn't ever get addressed, right? So I feel like that's what I'm taking out of it. But I really, really liked how he just took accountability. I like how he wrote that.
Saw me more often and way less you. He criticized and tested me, so I test you. I got so much wrongdoing to confess to, and you act like it never happened. God bless you. I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to even ask, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
Faces, different faces, all nowhere, put the blame on me.
Put the blame on me. How it comes in and out. Yeah.
Put the blame on me.
I love that.
Put the blame on me.
You grew up in my household, under my roof. Raised you with discipline and taught you life's truths. Lashed out at you for things you'd misplaced. Reprimanding you in public till you're red in the face. Made you feel the weight of every single mistake that you made. My hot temper turned up full throttle, cause I needed you to be your little brother's role model. Everything that you do, he just gon' follow. Don't you understand? It's okay, I understand. Cause the way I parent you is how my mother did. And the way you treat your little brother is how my older brother did. And now I'm not even my brother's friend. There's so much I would do and say if I could have it done again. But I'm terrified of broaching the subject, I'm terrified to break down. So I just don't touch it, I don't say nothing.
Faces, running faces, different faces, all nowhere. Put the blame on me.
Yeah,
Put the blame on me.
it's a good song.
Yep.
Oh, put the blame on me.
Back one more time.
They might hit you with it.
Put the blame on me.
Nope, that's it.
They let it ride out.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I like that a lot, man. Everyone in this story, the dad, the older brother, and the younger brother, no one wants to talk about it because they don't know what the outcome's gonna be when they talk about it. That right there, to me, is the point of this song, I believe. And at least that's the way I'm taking it, because I feel like when you talk about subjects, and I call them hard conversations, George and I, we talk about this all the time. People don't want to have hard conversations in general. That's just human nature.
They struggle with conflict in general.
Right,
Yep.
right. So they're like, and you just shy away, and it never, and the pain is still there, and it actually gets worse, and you may lash out in different ways or lash out to different people. The trauma that people carry that manifests in different ways because they don't kind of talk about things in detail. Because they're scared to broach it. They don't even want to bring the shit up. Yeah, I don't even want to bring the shit up. You know what I mean? So they tippy-toe around it and just act like everything is great until something, dramatic happens in their life. And I feel like that's when meltdowns happen.
Hell
That's
yeah.
when people do, things that's out of character.
Hurt people, right? That's
Exactly.
the age-old cliche.
They're scared of the
Opening old wounds.
right,
Yeah.
and they're scared of the outcome. Maybe the outcome is going to be even worse. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
It's already hard enough for me to deal with,
Exactly.
internally, I love here with the dad, though, man. He said, the dad took accountability, as Ryan was saying as well. Everyone seemed to take some accountability. Dad said, I have a hot temper. It turned up full throttle because I needed you to be your little brother's role model. So having a hot temper is probably not the best way to handle anything, right? You got to be cool, calm, and collected regardless of what's going on, right? So he's admitting he has a hot temper. Then he said he parented him based off of how his parents parented him and based off of how he had a relationship with his brother, right? Even though he said him and his brother don't even talk anymore. So now you pass that same trauma or whatever, right? Or way of dealing with conflict or issues down to your children, and now you see how it affects your children, right? So when you said it trickles down, that's exactly what happened. Like it trickles down as in your parents' trauma becomes your trauma becomes your kids' trauma. And the only way to break that cycle is by just being forthcoming and communicating and being a bit more vulnerable with your feelings. So I think there's a lesson to be learned here, right? And here's another way that people probably can relate to this. Just think about like work, the hierarchy of work. When corporate has a lot going on and then they're pressuring the higher level managers to
great
do.
analogy.
Yeah, they're pressuring the higher level managers to get whatever numbers they need to get, and then that pressure comes down to the manager, and then the manager pressures the employee, right? And then everyone's just on edge, and it creates what I feel like is a difficult work environment. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Like, I hate my manager. You hate your manager hates, or if you're the manager, you hate your employees because they're not doing their job. You hate your boss for putting pressure on you. Your boss hates, the CEO for putting pressure on him, and everybody's fucking miserable, right? So,
It's so true, though.
so Jack is 2 for 2. I mean, we've done 3 technically because Common Ground is on our website. Go check out that Common Ground reaction that is in our hip hop group. You'll see that. But we'll say he's 2 for 2. I'm not going to tell you what we thought of Common Ground in general. So until y'all check out the reactions. So that's the end of the video, man. If you guys enjoyed that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. As we mentioned, make sure you guys join, become a member of Def to Radio, man. It's a great way to support the channel. And it's we're building a nice family-like community over there, man. Just real hip-hop opinions, real rock opinions, whatever. We have different genres that we're encompassing on the site. And we want y'all to get involved. I'm George. That's Ryan. Los to Vegas.
We out.